Hi, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and today I'm going to be working with my Creality Sonic Pad and working to connect to the Sonic Pad via the web. And we should be able to do that in a couple quick, easy steps. So let's get started. I bought the Sonic Pad a couple months ago, and I've actually been pretty pleased with it. The only issue I've really had is that I'm so used to working with everything via a web interface. There's nothing wrong with working on it on the pad, but really I do all my tuning and setup and all that via web interface. So I'm just going to show you how to connect to this thing via the web, and that way you know how to do it too. And then once I connect, I'm probably going to do a second video where I work on my Creality Ender 3 V2 Neo and get it all tuned. I've done a lot of upgrades to it and I need to tune it and get it all printing again correctly. So let's go ahead and start the process. Now I want to start out by saying that the Sonic Pad actually has a very good manual. It's a very large and thick printed manual, but for us today, I'm going to go ahead and download the manual so that way we can take a look through it and go through it. Also, I'd rather have a downloaded copy, that way it's easier to search. So I'm just going to start by going to Creality's website, going to their download section and downloading that manual. And this will open it up on my screen. At the same time, I'm going to also download it, and then I'll put it with the rest of my manuals. Let me just type this in and spell it right. Okay, so I've downloaded it. And then I'm just going to go through this and show you how to connect this to the web. Your first step for figuring out how to connect to this thing is to obtain the IP address. So we can do that by going to Configure, Network Settings. In my case, I've connected to this wirelessly. And if you want to know how to connect and set up the Sonic Pad, I'll link to a video above I did a couple months ago. You can watch that. So I'm going to click on Wireless Networks. And right there at the top, I have my IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and write that IP address down. So in my case, it's 192.168.86.29. So with that IP address, I can use that to then connect. For our next step, we have to obtain the serial number for the Sonic Pad. So we're going to go back and let's click on local information. So local information, right here at the top, I have the serial number. And let me see if I can adjust my camera to get this a little bit more in focus. Maybe that's a little bit better. I apologize, the lighting is just horrible, and trying to get things without a glare is a problem. So my next step, I'm just writing down the serial number, which in my case is 79153991008BE9. So with those numbers, I can then try the web interface. As you can see, I've switched over to my browser, and I can connect to the Sonic Pad right now, either through the IP address or using a variation of the serial number. Now, I'm using DNS on my local network. DNS means that dynamically IP addresses are being assigned. Now, I don't know exactly how the pad is set up, and potentially it could, if I restart it, change IP addresses. So to make things easy on myself, I'm going to connect via the serial number, which I've already written down. So to do this, I'm going to type http://spad dash, and then the first 4 digits of my serial number, which in my case is 7915. And then I'm going to add .local. Now, if I just hit enter this way, it should take me to fluid. And then in a minute, I'll come back and show you how to connect to Mainsail. So with everything entered, I'm just going to hit enter on my keyboard. And as you can see, that brings me over to fluid. So here's my fluid interface. And I'm all connected. And then I can go through and do things exactly as I normally would if I used fluid. Now, in my case, I use Mainsail as my main driver. So if I want to use Mainsail, let me show you how to do that. So I've opened up a new browser window, and I'm just going to type in the same thing I did before, http://spad-7915, which is the first 4 digits of my serial number, .local. And then in order to connect to Mainsail, I'm going to need to type in a port, which I do by typing :8819. So the connection and the port for Mainsail are 8819. So with that, I'm just going to hit enter on my keyboard. So I've hit enter, and as you can see, it's brought up Mainsail. So now with Mainsail here, I can go over to machine and make any changes I need to my printer.config. I have Mainsail open, and I'm noticing something interesting. Turns out, and this may be a bug, that I can't open any of the configuration files. So I thought, well, this is a bit of a problem. But I've left Fluid open, and over in Fluid, I can open the config files, and then I'm basically editing comments up here. So there's a test edit, and I can save and restart, and it does connect. So there's obviously something squirrely about Mainsail. Open it back up. There's where I just put test. Let me delete that. So in my case, I think for right now with the Sonic Pad, I'll just keep using Fluid, which I'm not really that familiar with, and this will give me a chance to learn it a little bit better. So far, what I'm seeing, I like the interface. It looks good. So that's how you connect via the web. So you have 2 options, Fluid and Mainsail. And it appears, at least right now for me, Fluid seems to be the best option. So hopefully this helps you. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks. Have a good day. Hi, this is Mike from Minimal 3DP, and I want to thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions or comments, please post them below. If you need some additional help, I've also posted some links in the video description. You can set up a 15-minute help session with me, and I'm more than happy to sit down with you and see if I can help you out. If you need some additional help, I'm also going to try doing 1-hour sessions for anybody that's interested. And like I said, I'm testing this stuff out. I want to thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to talking to you again next time. Thanks. Have a good day. Bye.